Thank y'all for joining. I see a hand raised. Thank you, Sharice. Hold on, girl. Let me figure this out. There you go. Talk to me, sis. Let's see. Did I do it right? Hey, girl.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain. How are you?
I am phenomenal. Womanly? Okay. I got my voice is coming back, so talk to me. Introduce yourself. Are you a coach? You looking to become a coach? Apparently you're in one of our coaching clubs, I think.
So my name is Sharice Hackney. I reside in Georgia, born and raised in New York. Um, I am a life coach, and I'm also a family support specialist. And I had come to realize this year that I've been coaching for many years and just didn't really realize it. And I had prayed for a long time, asking God to show me a sign and direct me in the direction of what my purpose is so I can, fulfill that. And then a light bulb went off in my head one day at work, sitting with a client. I was like, duh, I've been on the fence about being a life coach for like 4 or 5 years. And it was like, you've been doing this already.
Right.
And so I shared it with a family member, and they directed me to someone who leads an online certification course, and I completed that course in personal development, and it was an amazing experience for myself personally.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely provided me all the tools I felt I needed to just kind of get me started. So I've been implementing some of those tools with my regular 9 to 5. I service families in foster care. I work directly one on one with parents who have lost their children to the system, but I help them develop and enhance their parental skills to get them where they need to be for reunification with their children.
All right
And in
now.
that process, I've been coaching them on just basic things, trying to transition in their careers. Sometimes some of them are getting divorced and trying to get back on track. Some of them have struggled with addiction, and I've had supported them with that. Some of them come from trauma, and so it's been an amazing experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm finally trying to get started in doing the same thing, but kind of just doing it for myself and not for social services. I want to start my own business.
Right. How long you been coaching?
For my job for nonprofit, I've been doing it almost 3 years. But I feel like from corrections into human services, I swear I've been doing it for like 10 years.
Forever, ever, right?
Yes. And it's amazing how you just being yourself and you don't even realize what you bring to the table for other people and how much of an impact you make on other people's lives because it's just normal to you.
Right. Well, thank you for raising your hand and speaking up. I want to hear some more voices as well. Who else wants to join us on stage? Just doing some pre-chat. I'm going to talk about how you know when you're a life coach. Just like Sharice reached a point. She's like, first of all, I've been doing this. But it's time for me to make some money, shmoney. So who else wants to come on real quick? Introduce yourself, raise your hand. Don't be scared. Do not be scared. I don't know Clubhouse etiquette that well because I don't be on that much. I got two other streams going. One is on Instagram, one is on Facebook. Y'all are welcome to join me on any of them if you need to see my beautiful face. So who else wants to raise your hand? I can bring you on stage. If not, we'll dive in as soon as I get Instagram up running. For some reason, it just gives me a hard time. Anybody else want to speak? If not, Sharice, I got some more questions for you, girl. Anybody else? You got to raise your hand. Let me know because I am working two phones and an iPad, y'all. So, okay, I see a hand. Yay, look at me like I know what I'm doing. Hi, Tiffany. Welcome to the stage, girl. Make sure I did it right. Good. How are you?
Good. I'm actually surprised I actually hopped on stage and joined in, but hey, watch out, right?
Welcome.
Thank you. So I guess I just may I ask the question as well.
You may.
Okay. Okay. So I guess a little bit about myself. My name is Tiffany Peterson. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I started a motivational lifestyle brand called Free Wealth, basically trying to I don't want to say market, but help people to understand that in order to accumulate overall success, one must be wealthy in their vision, wealthy in knowledge, and wealthy in habits. Right?
Okay.
So that's my thing that I have going on right now. But I didn't want to. I thought that I was loving to motivate and be influence individuals. But I'm trying to figure out how can I tie that back into myself. So I'm currently in school, finishing becoming a life coach. I just have to, in order for me to complete my certification, I have to take two practice clients or two clients through the 90-day program. So that's where I'm currently at right now. I just got started with that, and so I just want to know if you have any advice for me, or and also too, in regards to finding my whole niche or the whole ordeal. I'm just all about self development and helping people to just get started. Some people just don't know where to start, so I don't know how to really put that into a category or a niche, but maybe we can talk about that later. But just in general, do you have any advice for me just getting started, or do's and don'ts, what to look out for, what to be careful about, just different things like that. And I'm also driving too, so sorry about that.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll go ahead and dive in. Let me share what I got with you. I'm going to be greeting everybody on every platform throughout. So, hey, Zachary, thank you for joining. He always jumps in and supports me. And every time I see him, he's like, you do such a great job on your lives. So I appreciate the love and support. Hey, Tammy, how are you? Hey, Charmaine, your name is cut off. I think I'm saying it right. We got IG going, Facebook going. I'm Dr. AJ Austin on all social media platforms, including Clubhouse. If some of you guys on IG or Facebook want to come join us on Clubhouse, look for Dr. AJ Austin. That's me. Look for that bright smile. Them pearly whites will guide you home, okay? So if you're new here, welcome. My name, again, Dr. AJ Austin. I am founder of the International Center for Life Coach Training, LLC, where I train Black women of faith to become certified life coaches online in just one day. We have extended our program month to month for those of you who want to take your time and go through the training. We too have a portion of the training where you have to practice to show you know your stuff, just like Tiffany just mentioned in the training that she's taken. Over at futureblackLifeCoaches.com is my free Facebook group for those of you who do have questions about actually crossing those burning sands to become a Black woman certified life coach. FutureBlackLifeCoaches.com is the community we've been building over the last 30 days. It's fairly new, but we have 35 people in there. I added some people early this morning. I've been talking to some coaches throughout today. We got some people joining us next week for our 90-minute training that I'm doing, teaching you how to acknowledge those qualities within you to show if you're ready to become a coach. Because a lot of people don't know what coaching is. Some of them think it's counseling, which it's not. But I had an aha moment. I've been trained and certified since 2013. The death of my mom and a divorce from a 5-year marriage happening on the same day, along with me dealing with homelessness, downsizing from a job, and dropping out of college, all of that played a part in me being right here with you on today. So in 2016, I was offered an opportunity to come train for 4 years with the same life coach certification training company that certified me back in 2013. I was able to sit with my story, write a couple bestsellers. I'm author of the book, The Black Life Coach, How to Become a Professionally Trained, Skilled, Qualified, Certified Life Coach. That's me. #1 new release on Amazon. And so you can tell I do what I love. I love what I do. And the energy is natural, y'all. I had caffeine earlier, but that don't count because I do not feel it. And I was just sleepy a minute ago. But being on here chatting with all things life coaches, not just life coaches, but Black life coaches, not just Black life coaches, but Black women life coaches. And then we sprinkle some Jesus in there, child. We could talk all night, but I don't have enough voice for that. So, hey, Tammy. She says a smile for me. Love your welcoming spirit. Thank you, girl. I like to meet people where they are on their journey. So that's why I wanted to open up with some pre-chat conversation about, where everyone is. If you're certified, if you're looking to become certified, we have people who we call dual certified, meaning they went through one certification program and then they'll come join mine to be a part of our community. So that's what we're opening up the opportunity for over at futureblackLifeCoaches.com. And so, even though I have about 8.5 good old years in this life coaching space, specifically working with Black women of faith, over the last year, we've trained about, I always forget the number, but I think we're at 57 that has trained with me over the last 18 months. But before that, 110 of y'all have been back and forth throughout Atlanta, Georgia, in person with me. I can't wait till we can do that again. 8 hours with all this energy bottled up in a room teaching you how to become a life coach. I miss those days. I don't miss the heels and the Spanx and all the tight dresses and stuff, but I do miss seeing you guys live. So I cannot wait until all of our coaches can be in the same room and vibe together, because a lot of you guys have not met each other, but we're building that community. So that's why I wanted to jump on Clubhouse, Facebook, IG, and tell you about futureblackLifeCoaches.com, our free Facebook community. I see a couple of requests. Y'all hang in there with me. I will let you in the group as soon as I can settle in for the evening. Check y'all out to make sure you are who you say you are, and ask you a couple questions, okay, before we let you in the group, because our community is sacred. We have communities of prayer warriors and ministers, pastors, first ladies, leaders. As one of our coaches, Coach V, she might pop on here tonight. She said, we walk heavy, Dr. AJ. And we do. So I have to protect our space. Newbie coaches, future Black life coaches, and those who are currently certified with me and going higher in leaving their legacy. So as you guys know, if you follow me on Facebook, I share a lot in my stories. And one of my journeys has been moving into my home over the last 90 days. I have a newly renovated home here in the area of Hotlanta, Georgia, literally one exit away from the airport. And every month, something new is being added to the home. So yesterday we had grass installed. I was so excited. And when I say we, I mean me and my neighbor. We all sat outside. It's like a community effort watching the guys. They literally planted our grass in the pouring rain. I don't know if y'all saw that story clip. And child, I could not convince them to get out of the rain. They were that determined to finish. So my grass looks good, y'all. Now I got to get out there and water it at some point. But being in this new neighborhood in Atlanta, I'm from Atlanta. I'm a Georgia peach, born and raised, y'all. I'm from here, okay? My new neighbors, we get together a couple times throughout the week and hold each other accountable. We go on our what we call our therapy walks, because we talk about everything. So I am literally the timekeeper. I get everybody together. I set my clock for 1 hour and we take a walk around the neighborhood. And our community is very rich with history. A lot of our homes are on the National Historic Reservation list. I'm learning about all this, y'all. This is new to me. I ain't from this. I'm from the ghetto. So being over here in Bougieville, it's a lot to learn. But one of my neighbors and I were talking during our recent walk. And I remember she was just telling me some things she wanted to do, and she knows I'm a life coach, so I kind of get sucked into these conversations a little at a time. And I keep telling her, I am not your coach. Do not make me work. This is walk for therapy, not coaching. But she slides in her questions, and she asked me a question recently, and then I asked her some more questions back, and I kept asking questions because, as you know, that's what a coach does, y'all. We ask really good questions that make people think. And I caught myself, I asked her a question, I don't know what the question was, but she was quiet for a whole 60 seconds. That is unlike my neighbor. I was walking a little bit ahead of her. So when I didn't hear her respond immediately, I was tempted to fill that void. Y'all know that pregnant pause where you're waiting on that quiet dead space to be filled. And I had to catch myself. I was like, no, don't say nothing. She's thinking. And it impressed me, it surprised me, it threw me off. It gave me a chance to catch my breath because we were walking and we don't walk slow, okay? But she was thinking, and in that moment, I kind of giggled to myself because it's been a while since I've found myself in conversations like that where people actually pause long enough to think through an answer before they just jump in, or the person asking the question, in this case, the coach, we'll jump in and try to fill that void. And when she finally spoke, well, in the middle of me waiting on her to answer, I kind of paused and I looked at her and I noticed she was kind of glazing off because she's a dreamer. She's a professional storyteller, you guys. This is how she literally lives and pays her bills, telling stories, and she can pay good money to do it too. And in that moment, I knew she was in the story in her head. I knew she was dreaming, and I knew she was thinking of the answer that she wanted to come back with me, because she know I'll hold her accountable. We'll get timelines and deadlines and what's your homework by the time we finish our walk. But I giggled to myself when she paused because I'm thinking, now I live in my head a whole lot. I don't know about y'all, but some days I go, and it shocks me to hear my own voice because I'm in here by myself and I'm working on things for you guys behind the scenes, and I don't get to interact with you guys every day. So when I do speak, I, in that moment, had to ask myself, I did say the question out loud, right? I didn't just ask it in my head and she's quiet waiting on me. No, she was thinking. And I found such joy that spoke to my heart in that moment. Like, oh my gosh, I asked her such a great question that she had to pause and think about it. In that moment, I was so proud to be a Black woman certified life coach. Now, I've been coaching and I've been training, and we got 167 certified Black life coaches on our roster. But y'all, this was the proudest moment of my 8.5-year career as a coach. Having that moment of silence from one really good question that I asked my neighbor that made her think for a whole 60 seconds, made me question myself of if I asked the question out loud and not just in my head. And I caught myself giggling to myself and smiling, just proud that I had that impact in that moment. And I said, oh, I got to do a live about this because a lot of people have not had that experience. I just had the experience on our therapy walk, and it made me so proud to be a coach. Because it affirmed the gift that I already know I have, which is to ask good questions, host good conversations, put people on the spot, make you really dig deep. But to be unscripted, off camera, not getting paid in that moment, I wasn't on a literal stage as a coach, but just in a genuine moment. And so for those of you who are going through training, or you're considering becoming a coach, or maybe you're going to join us in our futureblackLifeCoaches.com free Facebook group because you're on that journey to getting to this place, I want to encourage you that as you get into coaching and you put yourself out there and you discover what it really is, it's a heart-to-heart, spirit-to-spirit connection. And I want you to give yourself a chance to dive into who you already are, what you already know, and what you bring to the coaching space. What I experienced in that moment, y'all, could not be taught. It could not be bought or sold, okay? But when I had that aha moment, I said, I got to chat with my coaches, because one of my other coaches called to check on me a few days after that walk. And I found myself coaching my coach. And he's here in Atlanta with me as well. We've been working together well over a year. We just can't get rid of each other. And we don't want to. We're building a very strong network here in Atlanta of powerful speakers and Black women of faith who are certified life coaches, and they're taking their life coaching journeys to the next level. And I was talking to my coach. He called with one idea, and by the time we got off the phone, he was like, Dr. AJ Austin, you have officially changed my mind about what I was going to do. You helped make it make sense, because I was going to go a whole other way. But to hear you ask me questions about the decision I was trying to make, it just opened up his mind. And he's been out in the industry. Like I mentioned, he's my coach. I hired him over a year ago. We're Georgia Peaches. I think he's an implant here from California. I see y'all represent on Facebook, Atlanta as well. Now, I'm born and raised in Atlanta, so Atlanta is my home, okay? So I count. Most people that are here in Atlanta, y'all are not from here, but I'm like, I grew up down the street. What about you? Okay, official Georgia Peach. But these were two instances, you guys, that I was so happy to know that I knew my stuff. And so because, opportunities like that come for all of us in this space, you have to be in tune with your heart space. You have to be confident in your gifts. And most of the time, that type of confidence comes from your investment in your education. It starts with things from reading books, watching YouTube videos, listening to podcasts. By the way, YouTubers, if you're watching, hey, y'all, say hey in the comments. Talk to me. Podcasters, if you're listening, hey, y'all can come hang out with us on Clubhouse, Facebook, or Instagram. I'm Dr. AJ Austin on all of them. We are live talking about, you a Black life coach win, okay? So these were two moments in the last week, y'all. This just happened that I was so proud to call myself a coach. And in that moment, I also knew that it was not about me. It was more about the skill that I had invested time from reading books, time from watching videos, time from listening to podcasts, and more importantly, time from financially investing in myself to go to the next level, getting trained and certified as a life coach, and now teaching it since 2016. And I'm like, wow, I just had an aha moment myself. And I know I asked you guys, those of you who are in my tribe, what's your aha moment? What's your takeaway? I want to hear some of those because a lot of y'all like to hear my stories, right? And you see yourself in my stories. So I want to hear some of your ahas and takeaways real quick. From what I've just shared, how many of you guys could kind of resonate? Have you guys ever had a story like that, like a moment of, oh, I'm good at this. Oh, I really am called to coach. Okay, coach. Like all of this conversation in your head, or have you ever had the experience where people tell you you are doing what God has called you to do? Like I've had all of those. I just did a featured interview on a platform for here in Atlanta. And they asked, how did you know you were doing what you've been called to do? So moments of confirmation where people tell you you're doing what you're called to do, or aha moments and takeaways like I had within the last week with 2 separate people confirming that I knew myself. Have you guys ever experienced anything like that? Put it in the comments below. Clubhouse, you can unmute if you're already on stage or raise your hand if you want to join us on stage. I want to talk to you guys to see, has something like this happened? And if so, let's chat about it with our next few minutes that we have here together. So who wants to talk to me? Comments, Facebook, ATLians, I see you. Talk to me. Clubhouse, anybody want to unmute or raise your hand and chat to see if you've had a come to Jesus aha moment similar to mine? Grab my water here.
Hi, this is Tiffany speaking.
Hey.
Just right quick, I can say that I've just always been the person just to speak life into people.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been natural for me. It hasn't been something that I had to, always think about or anything like that.
Yeah.
But recently, I had my first session with my practice client, and we were just discussing how she she lost the death of her husband. She's still young, like me, in her 30s, but lost the death of her husband. She's been depressed. Basically not at work, not being a good listener, just always yelling, just always angry, different things like that, and wonder why people aren't, receptive to what she had to say. And and this may be simple to everybody else, but to me, I was just like, well, you gotta think about it. I was like, maybe because I think people express anger, express emotions differently, right? Mm-hmm. And so I was like, well, maybe you are expressing your weaknesses through your words. And I thought that was just so, for me, that was so powerful because, a lot of times we don't think about how we're responding to, certain situations or how we may come off or just in general. So when I told her that, she was like, wow. Wow, maybe I'm showing my weaknesses through my words. Like, my weakness of, I'm depressed, I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm not feeling confident. And, sometimes people exude things different ways, And so when I said that to her, she was just kind of like in awe, and I was like, I'm okay at this.
Right, I like that.
That's just my little tip. I just want to share that though. So
thank you for sharing. And those types of responses, and you're getting some hearts on Facebook too, by the way. So they liked your share.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, so having that like, wow, oh my gosh, I've never thought of it like that. You were right. Oh my gosh, you're so good at this. Like all of that is confirmation. It's not even feeding into the ego, but it is, again, just confirming what you kind of already knew, but it helps to have somebody else say it, right?
Exactly.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. That is awesome. I love that. Wow response. Anybody else? Let's see. Facebook Livers, what y'all got? Y'all got anything to say? Sharice, you can feel free to unmute if you got something on Clubhouse as well. You guys are on stage with me. Thank y'all for hanging out. I did want to just jump on and share. You're a future Black Life Coach when. And if anything that I've shared has resonated with you guys and you want to stay connected in between lives and things like that, join us over at futureblackLifeCoaches.com in our free Facebook group. I'm happy to have you, so please accept this extended invitation to come be a part of our crew. Facebook, what you got? Sharice, you got anything? If not, we'll bring it on home and wrap this up and let y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Double check comments, make sure I'm not missing anything. Awesome. So Facebook, any questions? I know it's a slow lag and y'all type versus me being able to hear your voice. So if you type and throw up an emoji and I can hang out. If not, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. on Friday, July 30th, 2021 at 8 p.m. Eastern, which is Atlanta time, okay? We're going to do a 90-minute free training diving into more of this, how to kind of spot the signs that you know what you're doing, getting a little bit more confirmation, affirming the gift of being a gifted, anointed, called, chosen, certified, future certified Black woman, life coach. We're going to dive into how to pull out those qualities and acknowledge them in yourself so that you'll know what to look for when you do have these aha moments yourself. When you do get that, like, ooh, that was deep. That was good. That was a good question. Whether you're saying it to yourself or somebody else is saying it to you, I'm going to teach you what to look for in your characteristic. We call it a coaching characteristic. So there are 3 categories that you can dive into with these characteristics. Hey, Charletta. And so we're going to dive into that in our free 90-minute training in our free Facebook group over at futureblackLifeCoaches.com. Tammy on Facebook says, Coach, I received my certification as a life coach about 2 years ago. I'm still trying to find my niche. What's your question? I need a question. You know, coaches like questions, Tammy. You trying to get me to tell you your niche? Because I ain't going to do that. Who you work with, girl? Who do you help? Charlotta says, looking to join. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hopping in. You guys can feel free to go back and watch the replay. I wish Clubhouse recorded. That would be awesome. But here we are. Let's see. Yeah. So futureblackLifeCoaches.com. Charlotta, go and request. Answer the question. If not, you're going to get a message from me, okay? Hey, Liz W. the coach. How are you? We're about to wrap up soon. Tammy, you need some time to put your question in there before I go, girl. What is your question about your coaching niche, Miss 2-year certified life coach? Because even after you get your certification, it doesn't end there. Y'all know if you're in training to get your certification, if you're considering getting certified, that means you probably already been looking into researched information on good old Google good old YouTube. You've been stalking other coaches. So you know the journey just begins when you get that certification. It's about continuing education to grow your coaching company and find the right community to be a part of, as well as the right coaching clients. So are there any questions, Tammy? Throw up a heart, girl. Let me know. If not, we're going to wrap it up. That's all I really had to share. I was like, I could not wait till the day. And then one of my other coaches reminded me about Clubhouse. So I was like, let me jump on Clubhouse and share this. Hello, Adrian. So are there any questions? Okay, I see you, Tammy. I'm going to wait, girl. I'm going to wait on you. She's like, wait a minute, I'm typing. Anybody else want to come on stage, ask a question, tell us about your aha moment of when you knew you was a good old Black life coach? Or if you're considering becoming a life coach, did any of this resonate? And you have a takeaway that you want to share? I would love to hear it before we go. Hey, IG. Hey, y'all. Put your questions in the comments below. I'm like navigating 3 screens. If y'all could see, I meant to take a behind the scenes picture, but I forgot. So Clubhouse audience members, raise your hand if you want to come on stage. This is for Black women of faith who are considering becoming a certified life coach, or you're already a coach and you've had those aha moments where you just knew what you was doing. So let me look for hand raises on Clubhouse. Okay, don't see any just yet. Tammy, come on now. Connect your phone to your keyboard and type now. Come on. We're going to wrap up soon. All right, Clubhouse. We're going to go ahead and wrap up. Y'all can find me on futureblackLifeCoaches.com for free. futureblackLifeCoaches.com. That's our free Facebook group. That's where our 90-minute training is happening. Hey, Bishop. How are you, sir? Congratulations on everything. Reverend Bishop Doctor. Clubhouse, I'll see y'all the next time I do a room. Turn your notifications on. Or come join us in futureblackLifeCoaches.com, the free Facebook community. Thank you, Sharice. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank y'all for joining. Y'all have a great day. Bye, y'all. Let's see. In the room. Make sure I'm doing that right. Tammy, I put the question in. I don't see it. Did you hit send? I don't see it. Come on, girl. I got some bathroom. Rock. Let's see. Looking to join. Looking to be there. Put the question in. Let me scroll again, girl. Okay, there we go. Tammy, I don't see it. Charlotte says, what's the number one key to know that you're a coach. So we just talked about my aha moment that I had about a week ago with two different people. One was one of my coaches that I hired and paid for a year to work with. I helped him have an aha moment. And then another was with one of my new neighbors here in Atlanta. We were walking and I asked her a question and she paused for 60 seconds. And I had to make sure that I asked it, verbally out of my mouth versus in my head. And she paused for 60 seconds and it made me giggle. And that's when I knew, I got this on lock. I'm good. You got to affirm yourself sometimes. Don't wait for a pat on the back. So yeah, that's how. If you're connected spirit to spirit though, and you're really listening, you know what question to ask and when. You're not afraid of what we call the pregnant pause, just that long 60-second gap that my neighbor gave me when she was actually thinking about the question. And so when people do what Tiffany mentioned on Clubhouse, where they say, wow, I haven't thought of it like that. Or if they say what my coach said, oh, you just totally changed my mind. I was going to do something completely opposite. Or if you have your own realization ooh, okay, coach. That's one of the ways to know. Either you've heard yourself say it to yourself, or someone else has told you. So that's the number one way we're sharing on tonight. Thank you for your question, Charlotta. Tammy says, what overtraining do you need to continue to build your coaching and to ensure you are called to coaching? Was that your question? That was your question? I thought your question was about a niche, Tammy. Okay. So, you need to know how to build a business. Just because you're a good coach and it's been confirmed and affirmed and prayed over and anointed and you've been slathered with oil, I was all those things. You still need to know how to make money, run a business, and get paid for that gift. Because while it is a ministry, the Bible says a man who don't work don't eat. How phenomenal is it to get paid from a gift that allows you to eat for years to come, generations, leaving a legacy? So you need to know how to market, how to sell. You do need a business plan. I literally just filled out some documents last night that took me so much longer than I thought. I have tons of pages in my coaching business plan, and I still was stressed out answering questions about, the company vision and financials and marketing and sales and revenue and scalability and target audience and all that good stuff. So you have to know how to think through that, and you need help with that. So wherever you get your training, just make sure there are some continuing education processes. So what I do is meet coaches where they are, whether you are new and looking to get certified with me, whether you've been certified through another training company and looking to get certified with me, whether you're a new coach or a coach that's already been in business and you're trying to take it to the next level, there's always continuing education opportunities with my training company. So join us over at futureblackLifeCoaches.com. That's our private Facebook group. On next Friday, July 30th, I'm going to be sharing in our 90-minute training, making sure you're spotting your gift as a coach, knowing what you bring to the table, and then letting you know about our training opportunities. And depending on where you are in your coaching journey, if you're already certified, I can definitely point you to some of our resources and other trainings that we have going on and coming up, like our mastermind, like our 1-year mentorship program that teaches you how to take it to the next level, whether you want to speak, write a book, travel virtually, but all over the globe, telling your story about becoming a coach. I work with several agencies now, which is really cool, from PR to branding, making sure that myself and my coaches are highly represented online and offline. So I'm happy to chat with you offline. Tell me if you're a certified coach and you're ready for the next level. If you're not certified yet, you have to be certified to work with me on the next level. So that's why I start at the basics, meet you where you are, and give you access to things like futurebblacklifecoaches.com, our free Facebook group, to give you a chance to get in our community, warm up to me, because I ain't for everybody. I don't play. We get straight to the point. Tell them Coach Helen. Me and Coach Helen talked today. Coach Helen says, my aha moment was in college. I thrived in speech, sociology, and psychology. Yes. I, on my last live, talked about psychology on one of my last lives, being at Clark Atlanta University. I took psych twice. I was in honors psychology. And so, yeah, I took it twice to make sure, for sure. I was not pleased with my first grade, so I took it again. Because I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. You feel me? So that's what I did. So, yes. Okay, cool. Tammy says you're in the group. Cool. And tell me, are you certified yet? I assume not if you're in Future Black Life Coaches. And thank you for being in our group. I need to go in and make sure everyone who has requested to join recently gets their spot, and making sure you guys know about the training on the 30th. It's from 8 to 9:30. I'm trying to see that this little bitty phone screen is trying to tell me. Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions before I go? We shut our Clubhouse down. I'm about to shut down IG. Facebook, I'm trying to give y'all a chance to chat. And, of course, my accountability partner. Every time I go live, I don't know why she waits till 8 o'clock to send me messages, but she is known to do that. Let's see what she's sending. I don't know what that is. Anyway, any final questions before I go? Talk to me. My voice is in and out now. It's like, okay, enough. I'm scrolling, y'all. I don't see any questions. Let me make sure I got everybody. Tammy, you also scroll through our Future Black Life Coaches Facebook group and look for the video that says how to find your niche, because your question about niche marketing can be answered. I had an aha moment listening to another coach recently about how to help you guys discover your niche before you even go through the training. Even Coach Helen, who is in our life coach certification training, she doesn't know about the treat to come. That is our list of 88 different specializations or niche markets that you can choose as a certified life coach. So the video in our Facebook group will help you start to get an understanding of who you want to work with and why. I spent about 15, 16 minutes walking you through a new exercise that'll help you have an aha moment like I did. I showed you guys my journey. And another coach I was listening to earlier today, I listen to a lot of coaches. My circle is large and it's expanding more and more. But she mentioned something that she used to do back in the day for corporate work. So I thought about it. And when I was 22 years old, I used to count the vault for Bank of America. That was like the coolest thing I've ever done. Literally counting millions of dollars. And that was the second bank I had worked for. The other bank I used to work for was Regions Bank, and we used to keep like $500,000 in the vault. Our vault was very small, Regions compared to Bank of America. So I've always been around money. Even my first job at 14 years old, I was the drive-through cashier at McDonald's, and then customer service, just always dealing with money. So that says something. So in the video, you'll see me walk through that path and that journey of how I do what I do and why. So I think that'll help you with discovering your niche. All right, IG, I'm about to shut y'all down. Thank y'all for hanging out. Let me go ahead and exit out. Share to IGTV. I got an IGTV, y'all. And then any final questions? Facebook Live, y'all the last one standing. And I'm about to wrap up because I'm start coughing. Coach Helen, I was like you too. I took public speaking and loved it in college. So I thought that was awesome. All right, y'all. I'm good. Are y'all good? Hearts and minds clear? Hot. So I will leave you with this. Remember, there's someone somewhere. They are waiting on you, future Black Life Coaches, to walk in your destiny so they can walk into theirs. Because it's when you let your own light shine, you give others permission to do the same. As a future Black Life Coach, when you impact one life, you impact generations. I hope y'all's life was impacted on tonight. Y'all ready to impact some lives with me? Meet me over at futurebblacklifecoaches.com. And I'll see you soon. Woosah. Have a phenomenal rest of your day. Thank y'all for hanging out. God bless. Bye, future Black Life Coaches.